foam roller now. So you'll use a foam roller even if it has a dog bite, a pillow, and a towel. Let's start seated. You can start seated on your pillow if you have a hard time staying tall out of the sit bones. But if you don't need a pillow, you don't need it. You can just keep it to the side. And we'll sit in a butterfly stretch. Woo. And again, if you feel like you're tall out of the sit bones, great. If not, have a pillow underneath you. And then grab your foam roller, put it in front of you. And you will start by leaning forward. Almost lost my voice there. And then coming back up. Good. Yep. Just controlling forward. And up. A couple more times like this. Once more. And then imagine like you're up against the wall and you're just going to peel forward a few inches, staying tall out of the sit bones. You round off and then back onto the wall. You only go as far forward as you can stay sitting tall out of the sit bones. If it feels like your weight is shifting to the front of the thighs or like towards your hamstrings, then you went too far. I just went too far. Good. Couple more times. And once more. And then let's so from your butterfly stretch, let's take one leg out to the side. And then the leg that's in the butterfly, you can pull a little bit closer. Hello, everybody. And then start rounding forward and rounding up. You're going to round as far forward as you're comfortable with. Your foot is relaxed. And then 2 more times. Once more. Now we sit really tall and hinge from the hips to go forward with a flat back so you can stay looking out in front of you. And then you come back up with a flat back. About 6 times. So 5 more. For a second I questioned that 5 was after 6 when counting backwards. And then if you haven't lost count, hopefully we have 1 or 2 more. Or you can let me know. Then turning this into a combo where you go forward with a flat back and you'll round up to come up to a seated position. And then again, going forward like your chest gets pulled forward, so a little bit of extension first. Good. And your arms are just kind of going along for the ride. You are going to try and lead this movement from your spine. Let the sternum area of the spine reach forward and all the way for the ground, then round back towards the back wall. Reversing that, rounding forward first. To a straight spine, maybe a little bit of extension. You could even look up a little. And then rounding again. Good. Going to a range that feels nice for your spine. If anything feels uncomfortable, just change the range. Or you could wiggle a little bit in that area. Last one. switch legs. So you'll pull that other leg in, or you can start by taking one leg out now, and then even out. Good. So just going forward, rounding forward, and then pulling up. Again, round forward for 5, 4, 3, last 2, then when you come up, straighten through the spine. Keep your spine as straight as possible, so think tall back to hinge forward from the hips and hinge back. You keep your spine as tall as possible at all times as you're hinging and as you're coming up. Good. Once more. Everyone looks good. Let's combine those. So going forward with a flat back, turning into extension where the chest leads. You drop the head and you round up. Guiding this movement from your spine, trying to create the longest spine that you can as it goes through flexion and into extension throughout the movement. So here you go in your extension, leading through the chest. You drop through flexion to come up. One more like this. And then reversing, peeling your head forward first to dive out in front, to come up. Again. Rounding forward, long neck, reach through the ears as you're coming up tall. And like you're gonna dive behind you, then you round again. I had my hair cut this week and apparently my bangs are still wanting to be part of my face. And I'm back in middle school and have my bangs all over my face. Last one. Good. And then both legs go out, or you do whichever one you want to do. At this point, then flex your feet for a few. Good. Everyone will join here. The hands will be soft on top of the legs. And I want you to have a little bit of like intention of pushing into the legs just so that your sides connect and you feel like you could prop up a little bit more. Once you're there, start going towards one ankle, keeping that sensation throughout. Back to the center and over to the other ankle. And we'll keep doing that. And just pay attention to see if you feel anything going on through your sides. Or stretch through your legs. Good. Trying to keep your head in alignment with your spine. A couple more. Good. And then at center, let's press out with a straight spine. You go as far as you can with a straight spine, then you round. Once you round, keep the arms pushing into the foam roller lightly. Shoulder blades go up the back, shoulder blades come down the back. Shoulder blades up the back and down the back. So the foam roller moves up and down a little as you move through the shoulder blades. Couple more times. One more. And then sitting tall. Good job. Let's turn this to the side. hamburger way. This is hamburger way. This is hot dog way. We decided this during class. Okay. Sit. Below the shoulder blades. Interlace your fingers and take your hands behind your head. Sit yourself really tall, looking past your knees so that you feel your upper abdomen working. And then lengthen yourself back as you breathe in. And as you exhale, sit taller than before. Trying to create space between the vertebrae in your spine. Or maybe you're just massaging the back as you go back. 3 more. 2. And 1 more. You're going to stay curled up. Lift your hips and move down and up the back. Pay attention to how you feel. And then see which area could use moving a little bit more, or just a little bit more focus, and then anchor yourself there. And start doing the same thing, going back and controlling forward. You can sync your breath to inhale to go back. And exhale to come forward. For 3. 2. And once more. Lift your hips up. Move up and down the back. Find yourself close to the top of the shoulder blades. Lower the hips. Take your elbows closer to your head. Start looking back and lifting your hips. Keep your head and your elbows back to lower the hips. Once your hips lower all the way, you can curl up. You start to look back as the hips go up, pushing through the feet. And then lowering the hips to bring yourself up. 4 more. Hips up. Lower the hips. And curl. For 3. 2 more. One step. I wanted to say once more, and I said one last. Finish out. And then take the foam roller under your neck. Nose straight for the ceiling, arms out to the side. To go from side to side just a couple of inches. Take a few breaths here. And then the foam roller comes out. It goes under the knees. If you have your hand towel, you can place it behind your head for your footwork. Palms will face up to the ceiling, and the foam roller goes underneath your feet. Roll your feet back and forth. Good. And then slowly you can start rolling out to straight legs. And rolling back in slowly. Keeping a little bit of pressure down into the foam roller. Enough so that you notice the lower abdomen fibers working. Keep your sacrum heavy. If that's difficult for you and your back tends to want to be flat, you can always place the hand towel under your low back to give you a little bit of support instead of your neck. Couple more times. Good. Straighten the legs. Keep your legs over the foam roller somewhere in the middle of, middle of the lower leg. Legs together, squeeze the heels into each other, and then press the back of the hands into the ground till you feel your chest open up more. Right leg will lift up as high as the left leg can stay down, and then you'll lower it. We'll do that again 4 more times, same side. Controlling the leg away like you pull a rubber band away, and then it brings you down. 2 more. Once more. Switching legs, so now the right leg will press down, the left one will lift as high as it can keep weight on the right side. Good. For 3, 2, and 1 more. The right leg will go back up, and it's going to do a little tiny circles for the ceiling, and then reverse your little tiny circles. Lower the leg, other leg, lift, little tiny circles, and reverse. And then the leg lowers. You can pull the foam roller close to you. Take out the towel from your neck. Put it to the side for this one. Have your nose straight for the ceiling, palms facing into the mat and pushing down into the mat. You're going to push through the feet to lift your hips up as high as you can, and then lower down 1 vertebra at a time. And again, you'll push into the arms to help you lift through the hips, push through the feet. And then you'll roll back down. Nose is still straight for the ceiling. Take your feet together if they're not together already, and your knees squeezing together as well. Lift tall. Keep the legs squeezing together as you roll down through the spine. 2 more sets, lifting the hips. Nose for the ceiling, and rolling down, and then 1 more time. Good. Pull the foam roller under your hips, so lift your hips, foam roller under. Yay! Good job, guys. Both knees will be in towards the chest. Give yourself a hug. You just did some hard ones, so be proud of yourself. If not, I'm proud of you. Gold stars. Both legs for the ceiling, hands to your side. Point and flex the feet. Keeping the feet connected on the inside line. And only letting the feet point and flex as much as they can stay connected. Make a note of how much range that is. Keep that range as you alternate. And then reconnect the ball of the foot for running, still same range. For 2 more on each side. And then the legs come overhead and away from the body. Overhead and away from the body. Good. Lengthen through your ears. Make lots of space for your throat. And then start circles at the top. Legs separate to lower, together and up. Three more circles. And if at any point you need to readjust your foam roller, please do so. I'm getting close to readjustment time. And then reverse. To reverse, you lower down through center, apart, back up and together. Encourage the glutes to work when the legs lower to help you lengthen the legs and step into the feet. For 3, 2, 1 more. And then lower down to that same angle you were going to bend in for frogs, and away. If you're not sure what angle to go to, you can try going straight for the ceiling. This is pretty easy. Shouldn't feel too hard to do. Then you can start going at an angle. And as you notice your abdomen work, you can encourage your glutes to work more. And then you'll notice more lower abdomen work. And then you can decide what angle you like. For 5, 4, 3, last 2, 1 more. Good. Pull both knees in, arms out to T, pressing into the ground. One knee pulls away, the foot touches the ground, and then you switch. Good. And switch. Good. Everybody looks really pretty right now. It's a fun one to watch. Good. Don't watch for too long. Have your nose for the ceiling longer if you can. Good. 2 more on each leg. Last set. And then take both legs back up to the ceiling. Let the legs just hang out wherever they want to float. And then the knees face in and face away. Internally rotating the femurs and then externally rotating. 5 more times. 4. In, out for 2. Last set. And then both knees to the right, both knees to the left. As you're going from side to side, the hips stay in the same spot on the foam roller, and the space between the ribs and the hips stays the same. For 5, 5, 4, 4, last 3, 2, last set. And then pull both knees in, hug yourself again. You can go from side to side. You can wiggle yourself off the foam roller this way or push the foam roller away. So, for your side kicks, I say let's use the foam roller. Have your legs slightly in front of the body and line up your hips and your shoulders behind the mat a little bit so that you're kind of like at this angle. Good. Bottom hand supports the head. Other hand can go behind you pushing into the elbows like you're pushing to the ceiling and the ground. Let's pick up the top leg about hip height. So hips are stacked. If you're not sure, stand into the top leg and then start kicking forward and kicking back. You're only kicking as far forward as the upper body stays the same. So if you notice that your weight changes on the foam roller, maybe make your kick a little bit smaller. So you come forward and back. Good. Couple more. Last one. Now the legs are going to match. They stay separated. Turn that leg up from the ankle at the foot point. Lift as high as you can, keep length through your side. Flex, lower. Point to reach, flex to lower. So you're trying to draw with your toes and then with your heel. One more like that. And then reverse. The heel reaches up, you point to lower. The heel takes you up, point lower. The knee is thinking about being soft. One more. Back to neutral with the leg. Stay lifting up. Take the leg back as far as you can, stay the same through the upper body. And lift. You're going to feel that working. Little pulses. I know. This one usually is like, hey there, how's it going? I just like to smile and pretend it's perfectly okay. Bring the leg slightly forward and lift up again, little pulses. Good. And then the legs are going to line up. Internally rotate the top leg. You're going to lower until you touch your big toes together, and then lift the heel. And lower. And lift. 4, 4. And 3. Last 2. Yay, one more. Complete with this side. You can give yourself some love. Let's switch sides. Line up your shoulders and your hips with the back of the mat. Foam roller in a place to help you keep your spine straight. Feet to the front of the mat. Both elbows push in opposite direction. Stack up the hips. The top foot will lift to hip height. Staying at hip height, you'll kick forward and back. As far as the upper body stays the same. Good. Couple more times. The leg will turn out in alignment with the other one. We're going to point from the ankle to lift, flex, lower, point, lift, flex, lower. 2 more. 1 more. Changing the pattern, flex to lift, point to lower. Good. 2 more. Last one. Leg is neutral. Take the leg back. Lift up a little higher and little pulses. I'm like, you guys continue. I might not make it. Go forward lightly and pulse. Good. And then lining up the legs. Internally rotate to touch the big toes and lift the heel. And again, lower through the toe. Lift through the heel. Good. Couple more. Okay, a few more. Now 2. Last one. Ah, my poor side. Hi. You can sit yourself up. Foam roller goes away. And we stand. Good job. You want to have your sacrum touching the wall. Be about your own foot length away and then a little bit. In a small Pilates V, heels together, toes apart. Sacrum's heavy, shoulders are pressing, ears for the ceiling, let the arms rest. And now draw the abs in so much that your low back tries to press against the wall. Not because you purposely tucked, but because you pulled in so much that you feel the new length that you gain through the back. When you find that, keep that against the wall and start peeling your head away like a banana peel. One vertebra at a time. Going as slow as your sacrum can stay on the wall. If it wants to move, you stop. And then circling the arms in one direction. Let them go until they stop. Circle them the other way. Let them go until they stop. With an inhale, prep your abdomen. With an exhale, pull yourself back up onto the wall. Good. One more time. Draw the abs in. And then with your exhale, round forward. Peeling like a banana. This time, not a yes with your head, just a little yes. And then a little no. Then little circles in one direction and then the other, just little tiny ones. And then prep the abs with your inhale. Pull back up with your exhale. Nice and tall. Take your feet against the wall. And then you can walk away. And then you're all done. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I will see all of you later this week. So I'll just hang out in case anybody needs anything. If not, thank you.
Bye.